Now, before we run any of the nearest neighbor models, we have to normalize the variables because the magnitude of the values, okay, the distance measure is very sensitive to magnitude of the column value. So we have to bring them all down to the same level playing field, and that is done using normalization. So we're going to do the standard normalization, and we'll use there is an easy way of doing this using Caret. Caret has the Caret package has a function called preprocess. Okay, and then we'll predict the preprocess using preprocess. We'll predict. So the command is preprocess. Okay, so that is a Caret functionality. So when you run preprocess and then say what preprocess you want, and we say we want to use the train.df data set, right? And then we want the method. There are several methods available. You can do a help. If you run a help using question mark pre-processing, you'll get all the methods that are available, and the most often used method is standardization. So that will be method equal to, say there are two things we will do. One is center. So that means every variable, every value in the column, okay, from every value you subtract the mean. So it's like x minus x bar for each value in a given column. So preprocess will calculate the mean of the column and then subtract from each value the mean. So that is what center does. Okay, and then we say scale. So there are two things we want preprocess to do. Okay, now what scale does is that once you have subtracted x minus x bar, then it will divide that by the standard deviation. So that is what scale is. So when you apply both center and scale, all the values will be converted down to minus within a range of -1 to +1. And it's going to use the train df and save. We need to capture the result. So let's save this in norm dot tr. Okay, so we're using the train data set. Okay, and using that. Okay, so run that. So now if you go to norm.tr, you see the mean is there, standard deviation is there. So we need to use this to convert all the other values. Okay, so now that we have set up the mean and the standard deviation, and then we will say train dot norm dot tf. So we'll use the predict. Okay, predict using the norm dot tr. Right. So the norm.tr that we have there, and then comma, you give the name of the data set that needs to be converted. So here it will be train.df. Okay, and we do the same thing for valid.norm.df, and we predict using norm.tr valid df. Yeah, and we have to do this for the new data as well. So new.norm.df equal to predict new.df. I'm sorry, we need to first specify what we're going to predict with. So that will be norm.tr comma new.df. Okay. Now we run these 3 lines of code. So now we have the normalized variables. Okay, so new norm. Okay, the one observation in new.df is now normalized. Okay, so train.norm. Okay, so the numerical columns have been normalized. Valid, again the numerical columns are normalized.